In this video, we are going to be looking at some of the things you need to know when getting started with a silhouette cutter. A couple of good uses amongst many more of these machines is that you can cut from garment film, such as Flex Cut Sticky, and you can cut out designs from printable heat transfer paper. This is a more consistent and convenient way of cutting rather than doing it by hand, especially when creating multiples of a design. The first, most basic way to use a silhouette cutter is to use a pre-made design which you can get from the Silhouette online store, which can be accessed from here within the software. But you probably want to cut out your own design, so let's see how you go about that. You need to tell the cutter where you want it to cut. It's not just as simple as opening the image and sending it to the cutter. To do this, you must create the lines that need to be cut in the Silhouette Studio software in order to achieve your goal. You can see the cut lines here in red. There are a few different ways to do this, and in part depends on the type of image you are wishing to produce. With the standard Silhouette Studio software, you can open most type of image files in the software, including JPEG, TIFF, PSD, GIF, and AI. Once you have done this, you need to decide where you want the machine to cut. This will vary depending on the nature of your design. To cut around an image like this, there are a few different ways you can create the cut lines. You can try to do this using the trace tools. You will need to experiment with the adjustments here to select the right areas. The aim is to highlight the whole image in yellow. This determines where you will be cut out. Once you have done this, click Trace Outer Edge. Now you can see there is a red line, which is the cut line. Alternatively, you could approach this using the manual tools located on the left. There is a Draw a Polygon tool which draws straight-sided cut path by clicking where you want to drop points. This is not suitable if you need to create a curved cut. You need to complete a path around your image. Below that, there is a Draw a Curved Shape tool. This works like the previous tool in that you drop points to lay out the path. You can also edit the curves after by adjusting these handles with the Edit Points tool. You would need to use this tool over the previous one if your image has any curved edges. In addition, there are tools for creating polygons and ellipses which can be handy for simple cutouts. An important thing to remember when cutting around a printed image is you must print it with registration marks. Turn these on by going into the registration marks window and clicking the tick box. These are used as a reference point by the cutter so it knows where to cut. This is not relevant if you are tracing around an image and then cutting it out of garment film or card, for instance, just for cutting out a printed image. Once you have upgraded your software to the designer edition of Silhouette Studio, you are able to open and manipulate SVG files. These are vector files that can be made using software such as Adobe Illustrator and CorelDRAW. Vector files differ from most file types such as JPEG in that they are not made up of a grid of pixels, but instead scalable lines or paths that are marked out by anchor points. Once you open an SVG file in the Silhouette software, you can just select the image and then go to the Object drop-down and then select Make a Compound Path. The software has now created a cut line for your design. This is the easiest way of creating a cut line. Another way of working with vector files with a Silhouette cutter is by using the Connect plugin. This gives you the added convenience of being able to create cut lines directly from Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW and send them to the cutter. If your design requires different colours and layers of film, you have the option of separating and sending these layers individually or the whole image as one and turning on and off the different sections. This image was created on one layer, so we use the Cut by Colour section and turn on and off the different parts, allowing us to cut the different colours easily. All lines here are automatically cut lines, and you can adjust the cut settings as in the standard Studio software. In forthcoming videos, we will look more closely at the different elements of using a Silhouette cutter. Thank you for watching.